supply and demand. And I started explaining to you demand, and I taught you how to study this formula, né? Because a definition is mos maar a formula. So I have 4 words that I need to have in the definition. The demand refers to the quantity goods and services consumers are willing and able to buy at a given price. Okay. So, now, I want to show you this. This is so beautiful. We have a law for demand. And the law for demand says the following. Now, let's quickly think. It says, if the price increases, the demand will decrease. If the price decreases, the demand will increase. And it's very important. Can you see? I start with the price. I don't start with the demand. Now let's see if it makes sense. If I say to you, this highlighter, if you go to a shop, this highlighter is 36 rands at B&A. You agree with me? No, it's true. It's true, 36 rand. Now, let's say suddenly, P&A brings down the price to 10 rand a highlighter. What's going to happen? A lot of people would want to buy. Ne? That's how life works. Let's say I have a packet of chips. Now chips is what? 11 rand a package? Now suddenly it's 20 rand. What's going to happen if you are with your mom in the row now and you want to take a packet of chips? She's going to say, leave it. Ne? And that is most now true. So, the other way is not around. If we say the demand decreases, the price aren't going to increase. And if the demand increases, the price isn't going to decrease. Can you see? You have to start with the price because the price put the demand action into play. Right. Now, if you read here, let's just read all these difficult words and get it done with. They say, the law of demand states that the demand and prices of goods are inversely related. So they are inverse. What does inverse mean? If the one goes up, the other one goes down. So just remember that it's got a negative relationship. So they are always pushing each other in the opposite directions. Okay. Can you see? Here is what I said for you there. The higher the price, the lower the demand. The lower the price, the higher the demand. You guys get it? Okay, remember today's date. Now we're going to do what they call a schedule. So a schedule is basically a column. It's a table. So if I look at this table, can you see, first of all, I have to specify the product we are talking about, because these figures is then only applicable on Kit Kats. And actually I should be more specific and say, oh, the 80 gram or the 150 gram. I should actually be more specific. Or is this just the one finger one, you know? Because for the 2 fingers, this table is going to look different. But now let's look at it. And you're going to see how it makes sense. They have a one column for price and one for demand. Now can you see? If the price is 5 rand, 10 people will buy. Now the price is going to increase. Can you see? 8 rand, 8 people will buy. 11 rand, 6 people will buy. Can you see? The higher the price becomes, the lower the demand. Or the lower the price, the higher the demand. Can you see? It works up and down. Beautiful, ne? And now they're going to ask you to draw a curve. Okay, so to draw this curve, we have to use this thing, né? And you have to have for me a pencil and a pen. Now, when I ask you in a test to draw a curve, this graph, you already, please look at how easy this is. You're already going to get a mark for a heading. There's a tick. If you write, demand for KitKat. No, because that's what I'm going to show here. On the vertical axis, price. There's a tick. The horizontal axis, quantity. There's a tick. So already you got 3 out of 5. Do you understand how to draw a graph yet? No, but you already got 3 out of 5. Can you see? Everybody can do that. Now, let's see how we do this. So, I think you can actually see a little bit of the lines there, ne? Okay, so now we need to measure. So if I look at price, it says 5, 8, 11, 14, 17. So I'm going to make it in 5s. Let me tell you, the numbers that goes here and here, I will give it to you in the exam. Okay. So, now, I'm going to work, can you see those lines? So I'm going to make it 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay? And my price is obviously in rands. Quantity, I see it's 0 to 10. So, can you see the lines? I'm going to make it 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So we make it 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Happiness. Yes. Don't take this back. What I'm saying is, we in grade 9 are not going to do a technical ratio thing like we do in technical drawings. Okay? So I just want to see that you know how the curve is flowing. When you go to grade 10, most probably it will be more accurate. I just want for now for you to get the idea. Does that make sense, baby? Yes. Okay. So, let's go. Everybody sharp? Yes. So now I see. I start with, if the price is 5 rand, the quantity is 10. So I put my thing on 5. Can you see there's the 5? And then 10. And I want to see, and this is where your pencil comes in. So you draw a line like this, but very light, and you draw a line from the 10 upwards. And there where it crosses, you make a cross. You see? Next one, 8 rand, 8 units. So, can you see again, it's not going to be totally accurate because I didn't have a line there for 8. So I'm going to put it somewhere between 5 and 10. So between 5 and 10 there would be 7.5, 8 would be about here. So I will say, okay, let's make this 8. Ne? And here is 8. Can you see? So if 8, that line goes up, there's my 8. Can you see? Now I'm going to do it with the 11 and 6. So 11 is just a little bit above 10. And 6. Is there anybody who feels they're not able to do this? Yes. Talk to me. How you? Okay, I'm drawing 2 lines because I want to have this long line here and this long line here. I want to see where do they meet, like this. You see? So, for everything, let me do 14 and 4 and look what I'm doing. So 14, you agree with me, it's just under the 15. So under the 15, I'm going to draw a line. You see? Okay. Now I go to the 4. But the 4 line goes up like this. Now where does the 14 and the 4 line meet? Can you see there? You sharp now? Anybody who's got a problem? Okay. And then we've got the 17 and the 2. So 17 and the 2. And they meet there. And then I see 20 and 0. If it's 20 rand, nobody's going to buy it. Can you see it's someone going to be there? I don't have to draw a line. Now, I don't want you to use a ruler. I want you to use your free hand. And now you're going to combine those X's. So, it's going to look very weird. It's going to look like, oh my goodness. But that's right. Okay. We call this a freehand graph. Ne? So now you're going to combine those X's. Can you see? Happy? But very important. You cannot leave it like that. You have to name the graph. Ne? So we say this thing here is demand. So I just write, I'm going to let you write it down here. D equals demand. So in economics, you're not going to write the word demand out on a graph. You're just going to put a capital D. And if I have more than one, you're going to see later on we have more than one lines. Then we're going to say we have a D1 or a D2 or a D3. Okay. Is everybody sharp? This thing, so in other words, please look. Because you have the D there, you're going to get another tick. And because your slope is negative, you'll get another tick for the slope. Can you see? 5 out of 5. Everybody's going to get full marks there. Okay. So, the demand, the law of demand says if the price increase, the demand decrease. If the price decrease, demand increase. Can you hear it's a song? I just made a song. You want to go with me? If the price increase, demand decrease. If the price decrease, demand increase. Can you sing it with me? Yes. So now, next. So now comes in, but is it only price? Listen to me. Is it only price that will influence demand? No, definitely not. Now, without looking at your page, let's quickly think. What else will influence demand? Yes. Okay, supply. Because if there's only one car, you can only demand one. Okay, that can be a reason. What else? Okay, who else got a reason? Yes. What else? Okay, what good and give me an example of what you say. So actually what you are saying to me is if that product is popular, it's going to influence the demand. It doesn't matter about the price. That makes sense. Scarcity, definitely. I know. The area. Why will the area demand influence demand? Yeah.
Because, for example, like if I were to go to sell water in Johannesburg, it would be more expensive than here because they need it more.
Okay, but we're not talking price. We're talking demand.
Demand. So the demand in Johannesburg for water is more than here right now.
Okay.
Because the pipes are not working.
Okay, so their pipes, so in Joburg, the pipes aren't working. So it means they can't just open their taps and there's water, they have to buy water. So immediately the demand for bottled water is now different. Right. The income. So let's quickly look because she got the one right there. So let's quickly look. There's the one that she just mentioned. The change in household income levels. What does that mean in normal English? If your mom gets a raise, suddenly she's going to buy more. That will definitely change the demand. Okay. Now let's quickly look at number 1. They say the price of other goods and services. Ne? The price of other goods and services. And now they talk specifically here about substitute and complementary. And I am quite sure if Sir is going to set up the exam, he's going to ask you what it is. So let me explain to you. What is a substitute? A substitute, there was actually an ABBA song. Do you know ABBA? Oh, don't you know the band ABBA? Go Google them tonight. There's actually a song where they say, I'll be your substitute. No, it wasn't ABBA who sang that. It was Kim Basinger. I can't remember. But in any case, there's the song Substitute. Now, what does it mean? It means we all love a steak. No? You like your steak. But steak is extremely expensive. So, Mr. Tokelot, can your mom afford to buy and braai steak every night? No. So she needs to have other plans. So, what is she going to, you need meat. So what is she going to substitute beef with? Chicken, pork, tuna, right? Can you see? Can we calm down? Can we calm down in the back? Can you see? It's still meat, but it's cheaper. So it's a substitute. Right. Now, complementary means if I have something, it creates a need for something else. For instance, if you buy a bed, you have a bed with a mattress. What are you going to need? You need sheets. You need pillows. Can you see? They complement. If you have tackies, you're going to need shoelaces. You need socks. Can you see? So now, say for instance, the demand for tackies increases. Can you see that the demand for laces are also going to increase? Okay. Remotes. What is complementary to a remote? Batteries, right. Okay, let's go on. So, we already got our main reason for the change in demand is the price of the good and service. But we also got other things. So the price of other goods and services, and now we make sure we understand what is complementary and substitute. What does those words mean? Then we also talked about household income levels. Now, can you see your mom got an increase? Are you still going to eat chicken every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? No, suddenly you're also going to eat some beef. Ne? She'll be able to afford scarp choppies. Ne? Like a sheep chops. Mutton chops. What do you call it? Mutton choppies. Right. Because they are very expensive. But now she can afford to one day a week let you eat mutton chops. Ne? So can you see the demand for chicken is going to decrease and the demand for beef is going to increase. And not because of the price stayed the same, because of the resources available to your mom. Now, one that you all know, seasons. Seasons and trends. Please listen. So seasons, so can you see that in the summer you want sandals. So the demand for sandals is going to increase and the demand for a very warm jacket is going to decrease. You see? Rain weather. Suddenly the demand for what is going to increase? Umbrellas. You see? Trends. Trends, you know, trends is an interesting thing. It's very close to fashion. But the trend is that people, so at this stage, let's quickly talk water. At this stage, the trend is that we don't drink tap water anymore. We buy bottled water. That's not a fashion, that's a trend. Okay, and why? Because we don't trust that the tap water is as clean as they say it is. So a lot of people are now. So just in the past few years, did you see how many Oasis opened up, and now Checkers, you can go pour your own water in the bottle? Yeah, so that's a trend. Can you see the demand for bottled water is now much higher than 10 years back? The other thing, which obviously makes sense, is your taste and fashion. So when I was your age in school, we used to wear this weird tackies. We called them jelly babies. So they were made of plastic, but it wasn't like Crocs. They were made with a plastic, so your foot would sweat like crazy. But you would get all kinds of jelly babies with glitter inside. Oh, and people love to buy that. These days, you can't even find it. Ne? Remember a few years back, the most uncoolest thing you could do was wearing Crocs. Now, it's super cool. Ne? Can you see? It's not because of the price. And I can tell you, please listen, here the law for demand is not applying because the price of Crocs went up crazily, but people still want to buy it. Ne? Why? Because it's a very good fashion thing now. And you can also see it as a trend. People love wearing it because it's a popular thing. Okay. So now, can you see I was very nice? I put photos there of different shoes. You see? So now, let's go look. So now I want you, I'm going to stop the video here.